Ba-da-ba-ba. Ah, oh my goodness, there you are. Welcome back, and thanks for stopping by to share a little time. I told you I was going to go do some of the boring stuff. I've done a little bit. I've got a lot more to go, but I got to a runnable place. I thought I would share with you, ring the bell, get a little win. Woo woo. Uh, Most of this effort is to make sure and appropriately break it all apart, right? I don't want one project with a whole lot of concerns. I want a lot of nice little projects organized really well on the hard drive, on the on-disk architecture, so that everything has its job to do. And it all comes together very, very nicely. So we'd already played a little bit with the idea of getting a kernel online. I've added a little bit of meat to those bones. Some of these concepts that I plumbing, just I know I'm going to want to need at the starting line of kicking off this first sprint. And I wanted to make sure I updated everything to be .NET 8, right? I'm trying out some of the new structures and behaviors. If we look at the modules over here, we noticed, we already started trying to practice some of the new .NET 8 features and behaviors here with these like class level initializers, kind of stepping in to serve some of the role of constructors and exploring. We're exploring. Some of the other stuff, signalr went to roll a fresh one. Not a lot has changed there, so the delicious signalr that we've all known can still run. And I like to run a standalone signalr server that can be chained together to create, mega signalr servers that can service all of the disconnected clients and their states. It's the opposite of BlazorServer, though, right? It's more to say, here's our standalone signalr server, and then as we have these situations where we want to put disconnected clients into that bidirectional connected state and hold them there, well, it's there and it's available. So got signalr up and a very just simple sample pub up and running. Common, I don't know how much we talked about already, but for me, Common UI lives above and serves the master layout pages, holds some of the services like the signalr service and makes sure that those are available to all the projects. All that shared behavior for the UI, so to speak, is going to live up here in Common. The client gets to it, the server gets to it, Maui gets to it, all the lazy loaded modules can get to it, all the preloaded modules can get to it. So super cool. And we see that it is mostly here to just deal with like master layout, and that's the role it's playing right now. Then within pages, you have chat and counter and home and weather. These things are now routed to here. And we'll come back and see that in a minute. But not a lot changed in the modules. We now have a new .NET 8 Blazor web app. Really, we have the same thing we had. We have a Blazor wasm client project that is very thin. It handles landing pages and getting you logged in and these sorts of things. Most of what happens next comes from those preloaded or lazy loaded modules that the client wraps, right? Super cool. And like before, we've got a server pre-render is basically how we're treating it right now. Mostly, we have exactly what we want, even better, even faster in .NET 8 with our server pre-rendering WASM assets and clients so that that WASM client can then load and lazy load all of the behaviors from throughout our system coming through those modules. So good. Yeah, pretty boring. Let's fire this thing up. I've talked a little bit about it, but I've continued to grow our workspace configuration. I really like this T-Loaders terminal loader that allows us to describe our project and open some consoles is really all it's doing with one keystroke. And so all of a sudden, I've described what the common UI and the client and the server and put them in a group together and the count module behaviors and put them in a group together and signalr. And when you get into signalr, I want you to run it. When you get into the server, I want you to watch run it. Right? These sorts of things you might have been getting from your SLN file in Big Studio. We'll fire it up. Yeah. All right, all right, all right. Everybody looks happy. It's unhappy, but this is just a race condition on the hard drive. All three of these are essentially trying to build this first one, and then these two are both trying to build this one, and it's not necessary. And I'll include different things in that loader. A lot of them are just getting me to a folder, right? And just maybe do a build or maybe not. Maybe just for now, I'm working on this area of the system and I want these 5 consoles to be available and I don't want to have to keep opening them and doing different things to get to them. So here we are. The server ran, it rendered. The wasm client underneath came into play, and now we're able to move throughout the system in a client posture, and we have access to all of these client behaviors. All right, whether with its delayed, pseudo delayed load, and chat. Signalr, I love it so much. So there you go. We have a lot of pieces in play. When we go to the home page, that is appropriately ring. When we go to the home page, we're looking at this client and we're looking at the home page. When we go to the counter, this is from the client project. When we go to counter 2 over here, this is actually being delivered from the common UI project. Okay. And when we go to chat, signal chat, that is right. And they're all friends. The signalr service is being injected from common into all the projects that care to have it. I've also been chasing along in Visual Studio proper. And in Visual Studio proper, you can see I'm just pulling that same sort of idea conceptually through. The become very obvious as this thing unpacks. Even though there will be a lot of projects, they all have their jobs to do, and they fit really neatly into the scheme of things. And when I need to affect a change in the system, I'm going to know exactly where to go and what change to affect. And we're building this thing together. I hope you're having an awesome time. I hope there's something in there for you. But yeah, we're just flexing on it and having a really good time. .NET 8, congratulations to all of us. Cheers. Ba-dum-bum.